Your first step to reach your financial prosperity goals. By what means can you reach your goals? We are deep in the information age. While a university education may or may not help you realize your career goals, self-education is absolutely essential to help you realize your prosperity goals. Is this course full of impossibly difficult concepts and cost-prohibitive arrangements? You will soon discover that the ideas presented in this course are not rocket science, that proper implementation is not like moving mountains, and that decreasing your unnecessary expenses and increasing your wealth as much as possible does not have to be costly or painful. Would enhanced knowledge and understanding of your options help you reach your financial prosperity goals? Your first step is to begin to understand all of your rights and privileges and to begin to develop your strategy. Your rights and privileges under the U.S. Constitution and the laws of the federal and state governments, particularly your rights to privacy, contract, and agency, are the basis for what the IRS calls your right to pay no more than only the correct amount of tax due under the law, only the amount of tax legally due. Read the short yellow highlighted sentences on page 1 of each version of IRS Publication 1 accompanying this session. There is a first synergy between properly applying your rights and privileges and working to earn money, in that your wealth generating power is enhanced by combining these. Also recognize that there is no law that requires you to continue in the so-called herd mentality. It is not that you cannot think for yourself. It is that all of us have been programmed just to go with the flow and not exercise our rights and privileges under the U.S. Constitution and the laws of the land. However, in just 5 short sessions, you will fully understand what it means to exercise your rights to privacy, contract, and agency, and you will be fully able to implement the steps for capitalizing on your potential for real, enduring prosperity. The free supplemental materials and resource links provided with this session should be used and referenced throughout the course, really throughout your life. While it is not necessary to read the entire ebook, it would be highly beneficial for you to read at least the essential 42 pages from the cover page through the opening pages in Chapter 1, then the 1 to 5 pages in Chapter 1 for each state that interests you, the 3 pages for Washington, D.C., and Chapters 2 to 4. You might also find it worthwhile to read the 4 pages for the U.S. Constitution in the appendix and to review the table of contents of the appendix to identify any additional reading you wish to do to verify statements of fact and conclusions presented. There is no intent here to convince you to do something for yourself. Too many people complain about never having enough money to start planning for the future, convince themselves that only legal professionals can read and understand the law, and rationalize that they therefore cannot afford to do anything about their legal options or their future prospects. They make their present lives as comfortable as possible with whatever they can bring home from work and hope that somehow they will have enough to live on when they are not healthy enough to work anymore. Or they deliberately avoid thinking about how they will live when they are not healthy enough to work anymore. You can continue in this tendency of keeping yourself paralyzed with the herd mentality, waiving your rights, and volunteering to pay more than the actual language of the law requires you to pay, or you can take proactive steps and make a difference for yourself. You need to convince yourself to make the necessary efforts for your prosperity. And by watching this first session, you are taking the first step. You are about to be equipped and empowered to increase your take-home pay and begin periodically doubling the size of your wealth.